Greatness in you. Hello, this is Les Brown, and you're in the right place at the right time because we're going to bring the millionaire out of you. Just hold on. Please enter your.
All right. Hold up just a second.
Please announce yourself. Good morning.
Good morning.
All participants are muted. Entry and exit tones are off.
Okay. Good morning, millionaires. Good morning, millionaires. I hope you're feeling insanely good this morning. My name is Haziq Ali. I'm a revenue acceleration expert. I'm a self-esteem development fanatic, starting with my own. And every single day, we're here to help you go further, faster, with less effort as it relates to your business. We believe that your business is worth a lot more than you think. We just believe that your business school teacher didn't even have a business. So of course you're struggling. You don't have no idea what you're doing, and I don't think that's no accident. I think that this system is not broken. I think the system is working exactly how they wanted it to work. I think it was J.D. Rockefeller who first took over the education system by forming the General Education Board. And what he decided to do, that clever Rockefeller, was he decided to put all his energy not into creating more thinkers, but into creating more workers. So that's why even in the richest country in the world, most people are broke. Even in the richest country in the world, when most people need more money, what they say to themselves is, let me get another job. Somebody give me this in the comments. Let's start this party off right. 2 jobs is for 2 people. 2 jobs is for 2 people. I'm going to get way deeper into that in a minute. But right now, what I want you to understand is it's time to rep your city. Let them know where you're from. Let them know what kind of business you have. Make sure you give us some likes. If you're tuning in right now, yo, can I get some likes and some shares and some comments and some stars? I see certain people go live. They always flashing their Cash App in people's face. We do all of this for free, and we're doing it all for you. So please show love. What's up with you, Daryl? Glad you made it in this morning, King. My man Mark Arnold is in the house. Let's go. My man Damon Ivory's in here. You let him know, King. Hit your share button. Hit your share button. Yeah, Pastor Dandridge. That's exactly right. 2 jobs are for 2 people. And for those that don't know, every Monday we do mindset. Every Tuesday we do sales tips. Every Wednesday is focused strictly on marketing. Every Thursday is about leadership. And then every Friday, we do what we call Free Coaching Friday. So today is a Tuesday. So, of course, it's all about sales tips. I'm going to give you something that's going to help you increase your sales if you're with me. Did everybody get their newsletter yesterday? Pastor Dandridge, you got yesterday's newsletter? Came out a little bit late because we were having some technical difficulties with the service that we use. We use a certain newsletter service, and they were tripping. I don't like not being on time. I think since we've been doing it over the years, I've probably only been late maybe 3 times. And yesterday was one of those times, but we got a bunch of new subscribers while they were waiting on it. So some of y'all must have been telling people, oh, it's this newsletter. They're like, what newsletter? And you must have told them about it, and then they subscribed. So I really appreciate that. But if you have not subscribed to the newsletter, make sure you go to millionaireminded.com, throw your email and your name in the box, and let's get it. Yeah, you got yours, Yuli? That's what's up. That's what's up. Good morning, Tess. Good morning, Miss Mandy. Okay, Naire made it in. I love that. I love that. That's right. Better late than never. Exactly, Pastor Dandridge. I'm glad that you got it. I'm glad that you are enjoying it. So check it out, y'all. Y'all know this weekend's Kaizen Academy is all about train the trainer. You can get in there for $19 as long as you do it before tomorrow. Wednesday, the price goes up, right? But you're still able to get in for only $19 right now. So if you haven't enrolled in this week's Kaizen Academy, you may want to do it. It's called Train the Trainer. And on that tip right there, what I know for sure, right, is that you're probably the type that wishes you could tell better stories. If you're an entrepreneur, did you ever wish you could tell one great story, and then when you finish, all the prospects are like, wow, and then they just buy whatever it is that you sell? They just support your business? Well, check it out. You can. You can. And as a matter of fact, I would bet money. If I was a gambling man, I would bet money that you already have a rack of stories in your life, a rack of stories that you could use that would take your sales presentation to the next level. Somebody share this and say story selling is better than storytelling? Somebody give it to me in the comments and then share this. Can you share this for me? Story selling is better than storytelling. This is important. And I bet you that you got a whole bunch of stories that would take your sales presentation to the next level, that would take your sales style from presentation to performance. You hear me? That's what story selling is about. Story selling takes it from presentation to performance. Somebody hear me? Somebody hear me? You feel me, Damon? You feel me? What we're talking about is story selling, because when you're done story selling, they find themselves still sitting there like, man, thinking about what it is you just said. What you're doing is you're blending the images and the appeal of storytelling with the logic and the intention of selling. That's story selling. You take the benefits and the features of your product and you tell a story about them. And the value of telling this story is that it projects the images, it projects the appeal, right, into their brain. But even though facts are forgotten, stories are retold. You hear me? Yeah, that's exactly right, Tish. Story selling is way better than storytelling. That's exactly right. Story selling is way better than storytelling. Somebody give me that in the comments. So, my question for you is, what stories are you telling them that'll compel them to buy? Y'all know convince is if you walk into my house and I say, mi casa is su casa, help yourself to the fridge. Compel is if I bring warm cookies out the oven and put them right there underneath your face. And I'm like, man, grab one. You want to compel, not convince. And you might be sitting there thinking you don't know any great stories, let alone do you know a great story that will rock the prospect to his core and have him ready to buy from you, right? Let me see it in the comments if you believe that you don't really have any good stories. I'm going to change this for you today. But first, let me see where we're at right now. Who on this training right now doesn't believe that they're good at telling stories right now? Who on this training right now talks about your business and you don't use stories as much as you should? Let me see it in the comments if you know you could use better stories. Yeah, welcome, Samaya. I'm glad you made it in. Who here feels like they could tell better stories? Somebody say me. Somebody say me. Check this out. Everybody has great stories within them. Yeah, Naire, yeah, I appreciate your honesty. Everybody has great stories within. Your challenge is to uncover these stories and then tell them with, some kind of charisma and appeal and a focus on your prospect. Okay, Tess, we about to change it for you. Yeah, that's right, Larry. That's right. Yeah, Sharice, we about to change that for you. Yeah. So this is what I'm saying to you. I got a 6-step formula so that you can rediscover, so you can uncover some of your great sales stories. You ready? You ready? Here's the first one. Start a story selling mastermind group. Somebody give me that in the comments. Start a mastermind group. What do I mean by that? I mean 3 to 5 intelligent, energetic people who will participate and engage and push the process forward. And it's best if they're all entrepreneurs. That's the first one, Dion. That's the first one, Dion. Start a story selling mastermind group. Y'all with me? Yeah, Chanel, we about to change it right now if you're ready, Queen. Between this weekend's Kaizen Academy and this training today, this formula that I'm about to give you, I'm giving this to you before we even do the class this weekend. Check it out. The first one is start a mastermind group. 3 to 5 people who will engage. Here's the second one. One at a time, everybody in the mastermind groups tells about a customer from a sale that they made. Everybody gets together and they talk about a customer from a sale they made. So you're selecting people who had outstanding results with your product or service. You're using minimal written notes. This is all going off the top of your head. You're telling this from your heart, not from a script, right? And then what you want to do in this mastermind group is record everybody's story. You with me? So first, you're making a group. Second, you're having everybody tell a story about a customer who benefited from a service or a customer who benefited from an experience that you got them, right? And then you're recording this. Everybody with me? That's the second step. Get everybody together and record. Here's the third step. Always make sure you include any trouble that you had with the sale. Always make sure you include any trouble that you had with the sale, any reluctance they had to purchase, any previous bad experiences that they had that made them not want to try this. You know, we've all got trauma from different stuff that we bought that didn't turn out to be what we hoped it would be. And great stories always have highs and lows. Great stories always have highs and lows. So that's the third one. Make sure you include any trouble that you had with the sale. Everybody with me? Now, here's the fourth step. Here's the fourth step. As one person finishes, everybody who's listening, their job is to ask questions about the sale, right? What are these questions? These questions represent information that your listeners wanted, but your story didn't cover. That's why the questions are important. You're going to find these questions, when answered, are the gold. This is the treasure. This is going to enrich your story. You didn't even recognize you were leaving out certain information. But now that you're in this mastermind group, you're going to notice that one story will remind you of other stories. They're going to tell a story, and it's going to remind you of a story that you have. And now everybody's story is building on each other. This is where you start taking notes. Step 4, right? This is where you start taking notes. So step 1, again, was you start the mastermind group. Step 2 is everybody talks about a customer that they had from a sale they made. Step 3 is make sure you're including any trouble that you had in making a sale. Their reluctance, a bad experience they had in the past, right? Nobody's using notes. Everybody's telling the stories from their heart. And then step 4, everybody asks questions when this person gets finished, right? This enriches the story. This makes sure that you are aware of what you've been leaving out all this time. Here's the 5th step. Everybody with me? The listeners got to also comment on the part of the story that would have made them buy. Huh? Now, everybody's like, yo, this right here was the best part of that story. When you said this right here, it made me say to myself, dang, I kind of want to try that now. You got me? You're sharing that with each other. We're getting together and we're masterminding to pull the best parts of each story out, to pull the stories out, period, but also we're pulling out the best parts. It's going to change everybody, right? And then step number 6 is after everybody's had their turn and everybody's been able to tell and hear comments about their sale, you retell each sales story with the additions that were inspired by the questions people asked you, right? Now you record the second story and you compare it to your first story. I'm trying to tell you, I'm giving you gold right now. Millionaires, this weekend's Kaizen Academy is going to give you gold. And if you're watching a replay and it already went by, don't worry, it's in the archives. When you join the academy, you get access to all the classes we've ever done. So don't worry about it. But here's my point to you. Discovering your stories is a process. It's a growth process. Let your stories evolve into their final form. Don't set your expectations so that, you're going to have a great story after one time doing this. Nah, somebody give it to me in the comments. Your first is always your worst. And then give me a share, Angel. Your first is always your worst. Isn't that cool, Tish? Isn't that cool? This process is going to make it so that now you're kind of creating these stories that illustrate every step in the sales process. And you have a choice as you sell. You can use the traditional method that everybody else in your industry is probably doing it, where they pull out the facts and the data and the benefits, or you can tell a story about their successful use. What we want you to do is move in a story selling because you're millionaire minded. Here are some examples of the kind of stories that you can tell while you're in this process. You can do a story about getting the appointment. Jot some of these down. You can do a rapport story, right? Something that helps you just build stronger rapport between you guys. You can do a credibility story, something that really accentuates the fact that you have earned the right to be here right now. We're going to talk about that this weekend during the Kaizen Academy, the whole idea of earning the right. You could do an overcoming the odds story. You could do a satisfied user story. That's the 5th kind of story. You can do a story about amazing results after somebody purchased. You can do an objection story. That's one of my favorites, where right in the middle of my presentation, I might hit them with something like, most people that hear about this absolutely love it, but some don't. And then I use whatever objection they normally give me, but some don't. Like, let's say I normally hear the objection, oh, I don't have time to do that. But some don't. They think they don't have time to do this because really they prefer to use their time watching Netflix and playing video games. That's an example of an objection story. But you see how that's like a 2-sentence story? I was like, most people, they hear about this, love it, but some don't. That's a bunch of psychology built into that. But this is not a training about closing. But since this is Sales Tips Tuesday, I'm just letting you know, when I say most people, that brings their psychology along, because everybody wants to be a part of most people, not some people. So I'm like, most people get excited. I want to be a part of most, but some people don't. I don't want to be a part of some. But then I bring in the objection, right? I'm like, they'd rather take their time and use it to watch television, even though they won't even remember the show they watched this time next year. That's called an objection story, you see? And I also close them before I even showed them what I had. All right. The 8th one is a closing the sales story. The 9th one is a testimony story. The 10th one is a follow-up story. And then story number 11 is a referral story. I hope that makes sense to you. All of us tell stories. The key, right, is to tell compelling, relatable, true stories that capture interest. Compelling, relatable, true stories that create a buying atmosphere. Compelling, relatable, true stories will separate you from your competition by miles. And this weekend, we're going way deeper into it. Appreciate that, Larry Bay. We're going way deeper into it this weekend, the Kaizen Academy. You can check your newsletter for the link that allowed you to get it for just $19 until Wednesday. You can inbox me for the link if you want to participate in this weekend's Kaizen Academy. There is not a business owner that can hear my voice that will not benefit from this class this weekend, where we're teaching you how to be a better trainer. Train is probably my favorite word in the language, because train means you're teaching, train means you're learning, or train means you're practicing, and it's all the same word. I love the word train. And this weekend's Kaizen Academy is Train the Trainer. You can get in for only $19 until tomorrow, $19 until Wednesday. So reach out to me. Yeah. It's important, Angel. And we got a bunch more for you, Queen. Only thing separating you from what you want is some stuff you don't know. Does that make sense, everybody? It's affirmation time right now. So call in right now. I hope this was helpful for you. Scale of 1 to 10, with a 10 being, I'm definitely using this. Let me see if you feel like you're getting better at stories. Scale of 1 to 10. How did you feel about that? How did you feel about that formula? If you're going to use number 10 and you feel it, you've got better stories inside you, then let me see a 10. If not, do not put 10. How helpful was this training to you? Let me see it in the comments, y'all. Come on, YouTube gang. Come on, Facebook. Come on, Twitter, LinkedIn. Who else? Some of the Facebook groups. We watching from a lot of different places right now. All right. Angel said a 10, so she's really going to use this. Yuli said a 10, so she's really going to use this. Daryl's really going to use it. All right. Tish says she's really going to use it. All right. Naire says she's really going to use it. That's what I wanted to know. All right. It's affirmation time. Let's get it, y'all. Repeat after me. Say it like you mean it. Take your cool off. Put some emotion in that thing. Let's go. Here we go. Repeat after me. Say it like you mean it. I am so happy and grateful that money comes to me easy.